Hey everybody, one of the things that we are hearing all the time right now is that people are waiting for the market to shift before deciding to make a move. That can be a great strategy. There's a lot of life events or other things that come into play in your own life that affect when it's the right time to buy a house. But who I'm talking to today are the people who are trying to ride this thing out and the people that are trying to strike while the iron's hot. And I think there's a lot of people waiting for a crash. There's a lot of people waiting for a shift. There's a lot of people waiting for until it's a better time to be a buyer. And I think that's the wrong strategy. So if that's you, stick around and we'll go over all these numbers and talk about why now may be the best time for someone like you to get into the market. Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Minter here, team lead of the Minter team at Realty Executives Cooper Spransky. We are currently on the verge of entering 2022 and the first quarter of 2022. If we take a look at some basic numbers over the last 4 years, what you're going to see is that each quarter over the last 4 years, we've seen an increase in the median sales price of houses. In fact, over the last 3 years, we've seen prices at 7 to 10% higher for the median sales price by the end of June when compared to the end of the previous year. So over that 6-month span, seeing a median price increase of 7 to 10%. That's huge. On top of general appreciation, there's always the rate conversation. And the rate conversation is always there, right? There's always the doomsday of rates are going to go up and this is the year that rates change and all that kind of stuff. But I can tell you over the last number of years that I've heard that consistent story over and over and over without much change, this seems to be the most confident that the experts are that it's actually going to happen this year. We look at this chart provided by Fairway Mortgage Company. This is the predicted mortgage forecast by a number of experts. So you'll see like Fannie Mae and the National Association of Realtors have us down here, ending the year at 3.1 or 3.5, whereas the Mortgage Brokers Association and Freddie Mac, they have us up at 3.7, with the average being at 3.55. So no matter how you cut it, short of the Fannie Mae prediction, everybody else has an increase. Everybody else is seeing something go up. If that happens, that's going to have a major impact on what you're able to do. So let's take a look at your situation. We're going to make some assumptions. Right now, you are a person who is pre-approved to purchase a house for $400,000 with 10% down. In other words, your principal and interest payment that you're allowed to have is going to be about $1,567 a month, roughly. That's what's been calculated as your max payment. Now, this assumption also includes you're at 3.25% interest rate. So let's take a look at these numbers right here and see what happens when we bump that rate up to 3.75 and compare it to what we could be seeing come June and this summer. Come this summer, that house is going to appreciate. So that house is now no longer valued at $400,000. It's $424,000 or $428,000 or $440,000, depending on where that appreciation rate goes. So let's go at the low end. Let's say 6% appreciation, which would be about the lowest we've seen over the last few years. Now, not only is the price of this house up to $424,000, but you got to remember the interest rate has also gone up. It's up to 3.75 right now, which means your monthly payment is now about $1,767 per month, or in other words, your payment has gone up about $200 a month for the same exact house just because of appreciation and interest rates. But the reality is you might no longer qualify for that monthly payment amount. If you're still set at that $1,570 or whatever number we were talking about there, we have a different situation. With the increase of rates, you can now afford less house, which means if you're trying to keep that monthly payment around $1,570 a month, with rates up to 3.75, you can now purchase a $375,000 house. Oh wait, there's more. Don't forget that $375,000 house come this summer has also appreciated. So what you're looking at for real is roughly a $350,000 house today. Or in other words, if these numbers are just jumbling up in your head, you've lost about $50,000 in purchase power by waiting until this summer to be able to buy. All right. But what if this isn't the year that rates go up, right? I mean, that could happen. So let's acknowledge that and take a look. Well, it's probably unlikely that this is going to be the year that house prices don't increase. I mean, again, we've seen 7 to 10% median sales price appreciation over the last few years, and we still have a significant shortage of inventory and available houses. So we expect to see prices rise once again this year. We look at that same 3.25% interest rate, 10% down, $400,000 purchase price. That house has appreciated. So that house come June is really 360, 370 right now. So you've still cost yourself $30,000 to $40,000 in purchase price just because of the appreciation. So what does this all mean? Well, if you're waiting for life events to occur, then by all means wait, right? If you're waiting for that baby to come, or that wedding to happen, or that new job to take hold, or whatever situation might be causing you to wait as a basic life event, by all means, live your life, do that thing, because the timing's going to be right for you when the timing's right for you. But if you know you're in the market, if you know you're going to purchase, if you know this is going to happen, and maybe you're just waiting it out, or maybe you're trying to decide if maybe this summer should be a better option, that's where you need to listen up. And I got to tell you, we are in the same exact boat. My family is looking at some options, and we are weighing the same issue, as opposed to what can we fight through and work through and make happen right now versus what are we going to be limited by if we wait and try to do it over the summertime. So I'm doing this right along with you. Listen, people buy and sell homes in all markets, so don't let this forecast scare you. But if you're waiting for the crash, stop waiting or stop talking about it, because it's not going to happen this year. And by the time it does happen, by the time it does balance out, by the time it is a favorable market for buyers, prices are still going to have gone up, and your interest rate still will have gone up. And at that point in time, you're going to end up spending more money for less house than if you do it today. So my point is this: if you have a good reason for waiting, wait. You will be just fine. But if you're waiting because you're trying to outsmart the market, stop. Go do it now, because you're probably going to be in a much better financial situation by doing it today than trying to ride this thing out. All right, if you stuck through that whole thing, thanks for hanging in there with me. If you want to talk numbers or look at your situation, let us know. We're happy to run some numbers and look at some possibilities and scenarios that could affect your decision making. Again, we want to make sure that you make the right decision for you, whatever that may be. So once again, I'm Jeff. Let's talk soon.